Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included, and I've landed here on a very frosty asteroid, setting up an initial base. Latest things that I've done is started to get stable. I'll have that together pretty soon, and we will eventually have a power plant running with hydrogen going in there. We set up a number of rooms in the last episode, so I've got a great hall, I've got a research laboratory, I've got a latrine, several barracks, I've got the ability to turn off wood heaters when dupes aren't in there, we've got the ability to drop in water and have that loaded through insulated pipes to a number of electrolyzers. Lots more to do from this point. Oh, also have a pike apple farm that is being used by food for the dupes that's being cooked here in the electric grill, but eventually these guys, the flocks, will need them too. Alright, well, let's finish up. Oh, I see we're going to need a little tile here to complete that, but let's get the power plant in a stable completed, and I will get started with the first project. At the very top of the base, hydrogen is starting to accumulate. I just put in this little bit of automation here with hydrogen, waiting for 120 seconds. And if that's the case, we're now going to allow hydrogen to go into our hydrogen generator. I've got automation set up so this isn't going to burn it unless it's actually in need of doing so. Maybe we'll up that to say 95. And then we've got a number of transformers, which I actually haven't hooked up yet, so maybe we'll do that. I've got one wire going over here. So maybe let's just disconnect it right here for now at least. And then we've got this one feeding everything down this direction. Oh, we've got some batteries and okay, we've got to fix that situation. Oh, and I also see. Oh no, that's supposed to be that way. Yeah, how about we do this then? Let's disconnect that. I might actually even change this arrangement, though we're not going to connect that just yet. So let's get you guys off of these. Take that one out, take that one out. We'll let those batteries drain out. And I'm thinking of just rerouting this so that at least one more electrolyzer is on this bottom system. Didn't not take long for these batteries to drain out. We got rid of them, plus the manual generators. Now we're generating all our power here in this power plant. I should see a little bit of hydrogen on this way down there. We go. Excellent. So that's going to help with the power situation. So with that, I am now... Oh, hold on. I'll show you that in a second. Let's get our next dupe. Okay, here is our next dupe. This is Blast, interested in digging. It's going to help set up or get exploring around this base. Lots of places I want to go. They're going up in this barracks here. So before that dupe is about to arrive, I'm just going to show you the stable that I'm setting up here, because I want to get a few Bamas, and I'm choosing Bamas that have already laid an egg, so that I know they'll be able to have a wild critter that grows on after, and then tame this guy. So we're going to dig a path, and we'll get Blast and Rock to be able to dig out and get 2 Bamas. If we're going to get some Bamas, that means that we have to grow some plume squash. So I'm setting up a spot over here to grow some plume squash. We're also going to need a little bit of ethanol. And looking at the skill set, I believe Leafy here is going to get our crop tending skill soon enough. So I'm thinking about also making fertilizer. Research-wise, we are currently looking at getting textile production, because with these Bamas, we'll be able to actually make some more warm coats. Speaking of warm coats, I hope, anyway, we'll find 1 or 2 in these lockers. Just about opening a path to this Mammoth. And I can give the command to drop that guy right here. believe we still need a little bit of laddering. Because this is not a digging task, it may take a bit for the builder to get over there. I'm going to do that just to accelerate that process. Rock has opened up a path for our second mammoth. Oh, and look at this. We're just in time to see Wrangle pick this mammoth up so it can go down to that stable. Let's go check on the progress of that stable. Alright, we need to fill in a few tiles and keep digging, but it looks like that is going to be a perfect spot for those two guys. And I think I need to find a source for ethanol. Actually, I guess I'm going to go after this. It should be an easy thing. So I'll do that right now. The end of cycle 22, I see Wrangle making some reed fiber from some of these mammoths. With that, it might be time to do some production of warm coats. The textile loom, which I'm going to put right there. Let's go over check it. We're making progress towards ethanol. Plus, I do not mind seeing if we've got any warm coats from those lockers. Just a little bit more digging in both these locations. As I wait to see what's in those lockers, I made a path from this little bit of ethanol. In fact, maybe I'll knock that out and transport that to this set of plume squash. Well, it's going to be plume squash. We haven't planted it just yet. Oh, there's only 4 pieces. That's right. Okay, I better go start exploring a few buried objects, such as here and here, that I could get access to. So that's probably 2 more pieces. There's probably 1 right there. Don't want to knock any wild plants growing, because that's plume squash that we can get for free for the time being. And I'll just go around, look for a few of these buried objects around. Let's just make sure that I don't have a plant there. Okay. Oh, look, I think that's definitely going to be enough for now. What are the chances? Neither of these are warm coats, which I would have much preferred. One rule I have is no frost-proof tubes. So it looks like we'll have to generate a few of our own, which is alright. We'll get a bunch of mammoths to help with that process. In this plume squash farm, just going around some pike apple, just to keep the natural stuff growing. Figure why not? Oh, and look at that, our first warm coat being made. And I decided to bring up some heavy watt wires. I did. I'm just, now that I think about it, I'm just going to do a cut right there, just to keep these machinery off the smaller circuitry. We are putting in some plume squash. We should have ethanol on the way. Oh, yes, we do. Awesome. I'm going to make a rule of no one eating plume squash, so we're going to save that for the mammoths. You guys tame yet? Still wild. I'm going to, we can start the process. Actually, no, I'll wait 1 more cycle, and then we'll put some plume squash around. Because there's going to be some, well, I can actually see here. Is there any plume squash? 8,000 calories. Yeah, I'll save that. We're opening up a spot down here, putting some oxylite in this little guy, just to make it easy to breathe as we go down. I want to start generating some fertilizer, so we can actually increase the speed at which stuff grows. But I'm worried about natural gas, so we're going to get a spot down here where that natural gas can go and get out of the way. Maybe we'll pump it into some side area and deal with it another time. I forced everyone for a short period of time to do a hunt for oxylite, so we can jump it right here. And that's just going to fall down, so it's going to make it a little bit easier to explore. So whoever's going down, that should be enough, guys. take that out. It'll drop that. And I can see we can even put a ladder right here. As we head down, I'm going to have to think about where we're going to put the actual fertilizing production system. But I know we're going to need some polluted water, so figure let's upgrade our latrine to a washroom. Going to put in some insulated pipes so that liquid doesn't freeze, and we'll transport some of that somewhere down in this area. I see that we're going to need this there. I came up with a design. I haven't exactly done this on this asteroid before, but you know what? Let's give this a go. What I've got is a fertilizer system. So polluted water is going to be coming down here from the washroom eventually. And then we'll store some of that at this location, and then I'll immediately go into our fertilizer synthesizer. If this gets filled up, though, I don't want that to just stay there and potentially freeze, so it's going to be turned to water, which will eventually just turn to ice. So that's my thinking and plan so far. We'll give this a test once everything is set up. And hopefully, actually the next bit is to utilize it in a few farm areas. Put one right here. And where are you? I might actually take that tile out, and I guess we could have a few doors in, but let's worry about producing fertilizer first, and then I'll make the greenhouses after. The next duplicate to join the Frost army is Drill. Making a rule of every time the Frosty printing pod is able to give me a duplicate, I'm going to do one until we get to 40. So we've got a ways to go yet. So Drill's got lots to build. Don't worry, we'll keep you busy. Here we go. Leafy is getting a crop tending skill. So we'll give them the special band on their hat for that. Also see this little critter here, which probably shouldn't be hanging around the pike apple. I'm going to send them over here. And, oh, you guys are still, okay, you guys are tame now, so we definitely want to get some plume squash loaded into this. Start that process. There should be some wild pieces around. And we are going to be making our own here. I would love to have this on, but we just need to wait for some polluted water, some piping. Well, I guess we're not going to get some polluted water if we don't actually make a lavatory. So we'll do that. And a sink. We'll do sink lavatory type of design. See that construction here is going a little slow. I probably need to find a local source of igneous rock. How about we just dig along in here to help out with that. I see some more igneous rock here too. Rocks getting the ability to go through obsidian. So we'll get them their new special hat. We've got a bunch of obsidian here. No reason to go through it at the moment, but nice to know I can when I need to do that lift. I'm going to get them suit sustainability eventually, so we'll give them that little thing there to do some rocket piloting. Not that we're going to make a rocket anytime soon, though. See that this greenhouse won't be a greenhouse unless we do that. There we go. Last part of this whole setup is finally making a washroom. Oh, I see the first piece of polluted water on the way down. That is good news for our fertilization process. Check it out. The fertilizer synthesizer is producing some fertilizer. There it is. First piece. So we're starting to get use of these new farm stations. Let's just verify that we've got 3 greenhouses. We do. Excellent. So that's going to actually double production. So right now I plan it 4 of these, or 8 of these, so that's enough for these 2 guys. But if I have a farm station and fertilizer, I can actually double this up without having to increase my plume squash. Awesome. At the start of cycle 27, realizing I was not feeding these guys pike apples, so we definitely want to do that. Let's see, we're sharing the pike apple between the electric grill, so I'm going to actually bring this down to 8 kilograms. At the same time, I'm digging out a spot over here. This is where we're going to be doing some egg processing with the incubator and storing some wild critters. Eventually, we're going to get more dupes. As I mentioned, every time I'm able to, I'm going to be printing the dupes, so opening up this area for another barracks. And I want to explore over in this region, but I don't want hydrogen to follow me, so I'm digging down so that we can get just oxygen up in this area and explore all the way up into that zone. I see rock, not feeling the best, but they are on a mission to explore in that area. With a few spots carved out, I'm now able to design a new barracks to support more dupes. And I've got my incubator. Don't have enough metal to make the incubator yet, but we are running the rock crusher, and we'll be able to do so pretty soon. Well, it looks like we've got a little bit of polluted water on the floor. Now this is polluted water. What is the temperature here? I'm just worried about ice melting. Well, minus 16. Not great for polluted water, but I'm going to start the process. Putting in some mesh tiling. Just nice to get a head start on this before things melt. And this also makes it such that when we do have liquid water melting, it's just going to go through the mesh tiles in the future. Because that's definitely going to happen. With all these wood heaters and electrolyzers running, lots of reason for snow and ice to melt. I am getting a new dupe. This is Muscles. We're going to give them their skill. Actually, Hammer has Demolition now. That's awesome. So we'll give them that. Muscles is going to be concentrating on, obviously, supply. So there's going to be lots of need for that around the base. Just wanted to talk a little bit about their schedule. I've been putting dupes in schedules of 4, so these Muscles are going to join this 4, or this 3. And they are all sleeping here, and it might be the case that Muscles may have chosen a cot up here, but I don't want that to happen. I want Muscles to sleep here. Reason being is, let's just do this. If they sleep all together, then the wood heater only needs to be open or on for that 2-ish hour period. Rather, if they slept at different times within the same barracks, this would be on much longer than we need. Alright, so there is Muscles putting on their hat, and they can get started with moving all kinds of material that we need around on this base. Just looking at the mammoths that are around. This one is 72. It's not going to lay an egg anytime soon, so we're going to just drop that there. I have found this guy here who is hiding an egg, so you are definitely going to go into the stable. We've got this guy who is only 37. You're going to go into this wild storage area. And this guy right here is also hiding an egg behind him, so he's going to go into our stable, but we've got to drill a path to get there. Rock should be able to do that. Alright, now I've got to go look around for some other flocks that may be around I haven't noticed yet. And put them over in this little area. Or maybe actually the other case that could be is some flock's eggs. The wild type. Oh. You're a flock, so let's get you up here too. Thinking if I can isolate everyone or all the wild critters there, that's just going to be a bunch of meat that I'll be able to get. And I won't have any, I just don't want to cross-contaminate them from eggs that are tame that I'm going to want to put in the incubator. Cycle 29. So we've started to gather a number of wild critters over here. And I also became a little bit nervous about the amount of carbon dioxide that we have building up at the bottom of this space over here. So we're building a pump, powering it up, looking for some carbon dioxide, and these guys aren't going to mind if we store some of that carbon dioxide right next to them. So that's what we're going to do. Breathing a little bit better now, because now I know there's a carbon dioxide pump. Storing some carbon dioxide over here, and I've been wondering why I've got a red mark right here. So I had a path carved out and I realized, oh yeah, these guys can't actually get through that door. So I'll just kind of cut underneath it and eventually get access to that mammoth. I suspect this eventually may, piling more mammoths, we'll need more plume squash. We'll carve out a spot for that. Next thing I'm thinking to do is research hazard protection. I'm setting up a spigot seal area over here, and I'm expecting to get a good amount of ethanol. And I don't want my dupes to get their feet wet when they're going in, so I will actually... Oh yeah, they're going to have to load snow too. So yeah, I'll have them go with Atmo suits, just to protect them when they go in there. There's a reason I gave Spark gave Spark the ability to have electrical engineering right off. Now I get mechatronics engineering. Probably won't be too long until I take advantage of that. We are welcoming Balance. Dupe that's interested in building, supply, and athletics. So if you got a variety of things they'll be able to do around the base for us. And just was about to work here with Wrangle before that new dupe arrived. I see that, oh no, we need to go attend to that egg there, Wrangle. I'm going to go through my first set of eggs that I'm going to process. So we're going to stop Wrangle from being able to leave for a short period of time. Oh, I guess we're having power issues. We'll see if we get through this or not. I think I have too many things running on this circuitry. And I don't know if this is going to be enough, but maybe I'll put this back on that line. We'll disconnect that. We'll see. Was that enough to solve our issue? Or is this an overall power situation? Well, no, I don't see anyone on the wheel, and battery's full. I think we need a new transformer. Maybe. Yeah, okay, I will come back with this once I fix the power situation. Wrangle, you can do something else for the time being. To get the incubator, I actually already had a power transformer. I just didn't have a wire hooking up to it, and actually in either direction, so maybe we should add that too. Just a couple little changes here, and I think we'll have enough power to get the incubator going after this. See that Wrangle's just about to take break, and of course I've just fixed the electrical situation, but they can work in the incubator in the morning. So what I've done here is I've got this circuitry that is accessing or is feeding less buildings. Of course, I'm adding a building now, which is electrolyzer down here, and the reason I'm doing that is just to improve the oxygen situation down here, so make it a little bit easier to breathe. Because I want to push more carbon dioxide down so that doesn't become an issue. Plus, this is going to make it easier to explore whatever is down here in the bottom part of my asteroid. Just realized that I had to dig an extra tile here to get underneath this door. There we go. We'll get at this mammoth. A little bit of plume squash as well. Bonus. Okay, now I think we can run the incubator Wrangle, though, you stay in this room so we can do a bunch of flocks full on eggs. Here's our first one. Our next one. The only disadvantage of this is I don't get to watch the rest of the dupes. I'm hoping they're not getting up to any trouble. I could always pause it, I suppose. Let's see how that the electrolyzer is running. Okay, it looks like I need to plan the next project. My next plan is putting together this exosuit forge and creating a spot to do some filtering and creation of oxygen, because we need to have some suits. Our building melted. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I figured that was going to be a snow tile. We better start replacing some of those. Slowly doing that here around the barracks, where we're getting a bit of heat. Maybe start the process of converting these as well. Okay, so yeah, we've got our oxygen production area, so we're going to be filtering for oxygen, as I said. So let me do this before I forget. There we are. And what I'm going to do is get a pipe going all the way down here to where my atmosuit checkpoints. And I can use that oxygen to fill this up. See, oxygen is starting to fill this zone, which is good. But I might want to open this up just a little bit like this, just to get that carbon dioxide to flow out. We've got another dupe. This is Yum Yum. They're going to be helping out in the kitchen area. We actually only have one electrical grill, but maybe it's time to expand that. The oxygen system is now online, starting to charge up a little bit of oxygen here. Going to be directing that to go down over here, and we're also starting to form our new spigot seal stable, which I will have to go start growing some trees first, and then I'll bring a seal or two down. While I wait for this to be built, just realized I haven't shown off the new double kitchen with its double grill. And first auto sweeper of the game. It's just going to make it easier to get stuff in and out of the electric grill. Looking back, I think I should prioritize getting some these trees growing, these farm tiles, but I'll do that now. Decided to take a few trees from up here. Got 4 bonbon trees ready to be chopped down and relocate it down here. First bonbon trees are starting to grow. While they're growing, I don't believe they need light, but once they become fully grown trees, they will. I see we've got some Bamnus that are hungry. I think that's because I haven't put enough of these, or I may just not have prioritized these over here. So what I did is I just upped the priority of these guys to make sure we get Farmer's Touch, because that's going to double our output. One thing I want to do is automate the process of removing eggs. So putting in some auto sweepers. We need some research to fully complete this next part. But I also just did some testing now. I realized the incubator is a building that actually does benefit from light. The grooming station does not, so we're not going to put in room. This shearing station does, but I'm not going to worry about that, at least just not yet. After adding a bit of prioritization, I see that we've got some Farmer's Touch reaching almost the far end. I might start growing a little bit more just in case, though. Well, I got tricked by mercury. I did not know I was building out of mercury. Thank you so much for that game. What did I build of mercury over here? Wasn't these wires, was it? Oh, it was. Oh, fantastic. Okay, first of all, let's do some building with iron. I guess that one is set. Let's do some mopping up. don't, really. Mercury, why would you do that to me? Alright. Well, I'll get that mopped up, and we'll figure out what we're going to do next. Oh, it looks like research is complete, but I don't really have enough metal to actually build this. I guess we'll get the rock crusher rolling a little bit more. Just planning for the heat change over time. Obviously, my core base is going to get warmer and warmer, but I've got a farm here of this pike apple that is not going to be happy if the temperature goes above -14, so we're going to add some insulation, hoping that's going to maintain things for a bit. A little bit of igneous rock will be needed for that. And we lost our greenhouse, but that's going to come back once we've got more insulated tiles. I have a feeling, firmest touch, that I need another dupe that can do some farming. Maybe the next one that is going to arrive, which actually shouldn't be too long, will be dedicated to more farming. That insulation project is nearly complete. The next problem I have is a little bit of excess hydrogen that's starting to accumulate up here. So what I'm going to do is build a little gas reservoir to store that excess away. That should solve the problem, at least in the short term. I said the next dupe is going to focus on farming, so here is CD doing exactly that for us. They don't have the ability to use the actual machinery here at the farm station just yet, but they will in time. Gas reservoir is now ready. So what I'm going to do is connect this right there and disconnect that. And the next project is a little bit more exploratory towards the bottom of the base. We're going to start digging a path down this way. As I make my way down, I also have a plan to explore both left and right. A little pathway over here, just to see what there is in this direction. And a similar thing over here. To aid in exploration going down, decided to add another electrolyzer right here. We've got a much warmer area that we're going into. This is about 27 or 20 degrees, no, not 27. Oh, there is 30 degrees down here, but we're currently going into something in between 10 to 20. Our new electrolyzer is on. Putting in a little bit of automation. Don't have enough metal yet, so generating more in the rock crusher. Oh, but I guess we can make the conveyor rail. Just gonna dump some eggs right here for now. We'll come up with a better plan as time goes on. Where is our bonbon trees? Almost 70%. Let's go see what there is to see over here. Just see this iron ore and rusty area. Exploring a bit up here too. Maybe probably have some more spigot seals possibly. And what about over here? Looks like we've got a little bit of hydrogen that's going to start to accumulate over here. That's quite interesting actually. There is a little bit of bleach stone in our way. I don't want that to turn to chlorine, so what I'm going to do, I just chose a little spot over here to have a bin, and that's where we're going to store some bleach stone such that it won't turn to chlorine. Then we can continue exploring down. We've got our first set of bambini eggs that I'm going through the incubator with. Wrangle doing the first one, and then the second one. As we get further down, I see that we've got another neurovacillator. So we'll have to choose what dupe is going to get a new skill upgrade. As we make our way further down, adding yet another electrolyzer. Let's go over here I think a little bit more exploration this direction would be interesting to see. Still have a plan over there, okay, and we're gonna have to go through obsidian, but you know what? We've got a dupe that can do that. Let's continue on that direction. It looks like all the automation equipment is set in the stables. Let's make sure we don't forget to select critter egg and critter egg. There we are, automatic removal of critter eggs. Whew, one less thing for me to have to worry about. Looks like we need some light here, so let's get these bonbon trees growing. Clicking on... oh yeah, we need the actual branches to grow first before we actually get anywhere else, but that's okay. At least that process is starting. In fact, I don't believe that it's probably not the biggest deal that we need all these lights on while their branches are growing. So maybe I will just go and disable a few of these while we wait for the actual branches to fully grow. Just before I finish today, we've got Pebble joining. This is going to be the last cot in this stable, so we're going to create another stable up there. Pebble is interested in digging, amongst other things, so they'll help be able to explore further around where we want to be able to go, see what resources we can use to survive for longer and longer. Make sure that we've got a wood heater available in this barracks. There we are. Just going to make this area shorter just so we can keep this pike apple growing for the time being anyway. Oh my goodness, one thing I hate about this game is how it switches your material very quietly without you realizing. Please generate me a little bit more of iron. I wish there was a way to restrict building of a particular material, like as in... I could say just never mercury, even if you can. Please, don't do that. Don't do that. I think that is it for today. We've gotten to cycle 40. Lots of calories. We've been doing good with food. Let's look at oxygen. Lots of oxygen around the base. That's not a problem. Expanding our electrolyzers. More for exploration. But I think the main thing is the stable setup. We've got some bonbon trees here that are just starting to get some branches. Let's check on these guys. Is anyone looking for food? No, that's a good sign. What about you guys? Are you looking for food? I don't see that in there. And we even have automation. Unfortunately, we've got melted mercury. That's just something that's been a pain this time through, but we are at a total of 16 dupes. We're going up to 40, so we're not even halfway, but we are starting some of the infrastructure to be able to grow our food, which is going to be very, very important. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, I will see you next time where I try to get even more dupes and get enough resources to survive. Actually, just before I leave, I think we found a good little bit of ethanol, which is quite nice because that's going to allow me a little bit more time until I learn to be able to produce my own with bonbon trees and spigot seals. All right, we'll see you guys later.